What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel. Today we're gonna go over a few tips on how to film B-roll of yourself. Before we get into it, make sure to hit that like button. Helps me out, helps the video get out to the YouTube algorithm, and I would greatly appreciate it. Without further ado, tip number one, you're gonna need to get a tripod. Now think about it, you're gonna be filming yourself. You're not gonna have a friend there to hold the camera to film you. Now I have done it a few times without a tripod. I would find like a rock or a pole or something that I could balance my camera on. It's okay to do it that way, but it's gonna limit the amount of shots that you can get and the type of shots that you can get. So it's very much dependent on your environment. So I would definitely get a tripod. I know it's not the most fancy piece of gear to pick up, but there's a lot of affordable ones out there that won't break the bank, and it's gonna be worth it. The second tip is shot variety. You're not gonna want one long drawn out scene of B-roll. You're gonna wanna get multiple angles and multiple different shots of a particular scene. Whether that's if you're doing something or heading somewhere, you're gonna wanna get lots of different shots because it's gonna help move the story along. It's gonna help you get from point A to point B with a lot more interest instead of just playing one long shot that's gonna bore your audience, and overall it's not that exciting. So make sure to get a variety of shots for a scene. The third tip is you're gonna wanna get wide shots, medium shots, and close-up shots. A wide shot, for example, could be a establishing shot of the environment that you're in, and then you're gonna bring it into a medium shot. So for example, me skating by the camera, and then a close-up shot, maybe to see a reaction or a close-up detail of the environment that you're in. The fourth tip is environmental shots. Now, environmental shots are good for breaking up the B-roll. You could have a bunch of shots of you walking through an environment or doing something, but it can get a bit repetitive of just seeing you doing something. So a good way to break it up is add a shot of, let's say you're at the beach, add shots of the ocean, the sand, maybe some trees nearby, or if you're in the city, maybe shoot some B-roll of the buildings and cars going by. It's just gonna help break up your B-roll segment so it doesn't seem too repetitive. The fifth tip is to incorporate handheld movement. And that's also gonna help break up your B-roll as well, because you're gonna have a lot of tripod shots and that can get a bit boring. So adding handheld movement, let's say you're going to get environmental shots, this is a good time to do handheld camera movement. So get some B-roll of your environment that you're in. So again, it's gonna help break up your B-roll segment and keep that variety there and keep it spicy. The sixth tip is to use keyframes. Now, keyframes is going to be all in post-production, and I'm pretty sure most editing softwares offer some form of keyframes, and that is to fake camera movement in your shots. A good tip though is if you're walking towards the camera for a scene, you should use the keyframes to make a zoom out effect as the person is walking towards the camera. It would look a bit weird if you were zooming in as someone was walking towards the camera. And the same thing applies if you're walking away from the camera, have the keyframes zooming in towards the subject so it looks like the camera is following the person or you. So that's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind when you are shooting solo B-roll. The seventh tip is to use fake handheld effects, and that is also done in post-production. If you want to know how to do that, you can check out my tutorial, which is up here or here. I forget which side it's on. It's relatively easy to do, so go check out that tutorial if you'd like to do that. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap up this video. If this helped you out at all, if you found any kind of value from it, make sure to hit that like button, consider sharing it with your friends, and hit subscribe if you want to see more content like this. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.